about glamours or what's also called fascination. Today we use the word fascination like, oh, somebody is interesting or they're kind of, you know, they find something, interesting. We say, well, that's fascinating, or I'm fascinated by that. But actually, the word fascinate, fascinating, to fascinate, right, intriguing, interest, exactly. Because it actually was a type of magic. If you look up the etymology of the word fascinate, and I don't know how you guys conduct yourselves here, but in my Prophet Craft and in our trainings, we use a lot of chatbots and AI. We believe in being future centric. And so if you're like me and you ask your chatbot, if you're being interactive with me, for the etymology of fascinate, the word fascinate, I'm reading from my chatbot, comes from the
Mm,
Latin word fascinare. The re is the verb form of a word in Latin, which means to bewitch, enchant, or cast a spell on.
mm,
So you have to understand when it comes to words, you have to understand connotation and denotation. So denotation means what the word actually means, and connotation is how the word is typically used in common parlance. And so today we use the connotation of fascination is intriguing, interesting, or what have you. But the denotation, what it actually means is to bewitch, right?
mm,
So we're talking about glamour. We're also talking about how to fascinate, right?
mm,
How to fascinate, how to be even more fascinating, right? To fascinate means to bewitch, it means to enchant, it means to cast a spell upon. And this in turn comes from the noun fascinum, referring to a spell, a charm, or even the phallic shaped amulets used in ancient Rome to ward off the evil eye. Fascinum. The concept fascinatio or fascination in Roman culture was tied to both magical influence and the power of attraction, whether through words, appearance, or supernatural means. By the late Middle Ages and Renaissance, the word was borrowed into Middle French, fasciner, and then into English by the late 16th century, where it retained its connotation of enchantment before evolving to mean to strongly attract or hold someone's attention. To fascinate, we're talking about the inner science of glamour. And so to fascinate implies this mystical, magical hold over someone before it becomes more associated with, interest, captivation, intrigue, etc. So let's begin first things first. Grace has already laid out a powerful framework that you have to begin with self, how you see yourself. Do you find yourself fascinating?
mm. Wow. Okay.
Do you find, and see, this is going to show up in conversations about loneliness, abandonment, and so on. And here's why. Because what do you find fascinating? What do you find? Not what other people find fascinating. What do you find fascinating about you? What do
Mm,
you find interesting about you? Not what other people have told you, What do you find? And in fact, we might even start off, if I was to be so bold, with an exercise of all the fascinating things about you nobody ever mentioned.
Mm. We gotta sit with that one. We gotta sit with those questions.
I'm already sitting. What y'all? What?
You want answers now?
I'm waiting y'all to catch up. Okay, I'm
Do you
already
want
sitting.
answers right now?
Well, answer yourself within yourself. This is about you and you. I'm just here facilitating a conversation.
Okay.
I'm just being the moderator. I'm just
You, moderator between me and my higher self.
exactly. That's all I'm here for. So, and you know what? That alone might be an exercise that nobody ever mentioned. Like that needs to be a journal there that nobody ever mentioned. Hmm. Maybe the good that you did that nobody ever mentioned, the hard work that you do that nobody ever mentioned, the victories you had that nobody ever mentioned, right? Your recovery. Hmm? That no maybe 2025 is the journal of nobody ever mentioned, right? It's very easy to be the talk of the town, but what are they not talking about? So often we focus upon what people are saying and give no mind to what they have not said. And maybe this is an opportunity to tune your ear to that, right? Not only just what you are hearing or what people are saying to you, but also what they are not saying, right? There's a lot of communication, what's not being said. I learned recently, I know y'all already know this, y'all ahead of me by light years, but I learned recently that 97% of all communication is nonverbal.
Nonverbal. Nonverbal. That's one of the
Now,
reasons why. That's one of the reasons why I was telling the girls, we were talking about, because your vibe, the vibe that you put out, love you guys, have a good weekend. My babies are going with their dad this weekend. Um, what are you looking for, son? What do you need, Papa? Oh, well, she's already done.
I'll see
Turn
you
the
in here
light on
tomorrow.
so you
Yes,
can
you
see
are
with her.
sleepy, sleepy.
Come give me a kiss before you go. So that's why I was telling the girls that nonverbal communication says a lot sometimes. I've been across people, I've sat across people that they look very well put together. You will think they are winning in life. Yes, but that nonverbal communication tells me, honey, you're an insecure individual, and I can see through your insecurities. So that's why hug your mother. Mama. Love you. Um, so big. So that's why cultivating that nonverbal part to me is more important than the outside stuff, because you you do project and people pick it up, you know, people pick up. So yeah, yes.
This is happening in that 97%. I looked at that. 97% of all communication is nonverbal. And because y'all know my mind is crazy. The first thing that came to my mind is then what the hell have we been talking about? So, and I think got me all you just gathered me up and everything. 97. You should give no kind of wiggle room. 97%, another 50, 83. I would have wrote a cute 89. 97 per, I mean, you might as well say 100% at that point.
Right, right. So we might as well stay
97.
quiet.
So that's 97% of our communication is nonverbal. So I thought to myself, wow, that's clearly the conversation I thought we were having.
Mm.
But a lot of my life started to make sense. And I said, you know what? I can't be mad no more. The people I need to forgive because because I know what I said out of my mouth.
Right.
That's not what they said to me. But so what happened? I know what they said. I know what they said, and then heard what I said, and heard what they said. And how the story turned out. It went a totally different direction. So it must have been 97%. So I've been in this series about the unconscious mind. And so that lets me know that 97% of conversation, of communication, is typically unconscious, right? So we understand that the conscious mind can hold on to about 7 to 10 units of information or what they call stimuli at a time, right? This is why phone numbers don't go over 10 digits because we can't memorize all that at one time. So if it's you think of it like having 7 hands or having 10 hands, it's holding things. Okay. So if it's got all 10 hands full and you offer it an 11th thing, it's got to put something down. Right? Y'all still with me? And so what it puts down in the unconscious.
Mm.
Okay. So that means that there are clues and cues that are happening in conversation I'm not conscious of. They're slipping right past my conscious filter, and my unconscious sees it all. This is why you'll be with somebody and be like, you know what? They smell good, they talk, and everything. I just got a feeling. I can't place it. I don't have a logical reason. I can't say it was this. I can't say it was that. It was nothing that my senses could pin down. In other words, there's nothing in the 3% that you had an issue with. But in that 97% was full of red flags. And your unconscious knew it. It was processing this at lightning speed, right? It was picking up on sounds. It was picking up on inflections in the voice. It was picking up
Mhm.
in cadence, in tenor. It was picking up in pauses. It was picking up on word choices. It was picking up on the rate of breathing. It was picking up on eye dilation. It was picking up on pheromone scents that you are conscious aware of at the same time.
Yeah.
He said, what does that to do with glamour? Because the reverse is also true. You are giving off cadence. You are giving off tone. You are giving off pheromones. You are giving off inflections. You are giving off breathing styles. You are giving off eye diversions. You are giving off eye dilations that you are unconscious of.
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna read the comments.
Mhm.
The girls are commenting. So it says, this is so true. Every once in a while, I come across that one person that rubs me off the wrong way. And like clockwork, eventually the truth is revealed.
Exactly what we're calling our intuition is highly informed by these unconscious clues and cues we're picking up. And not only are we picking them up, my point here tonight is that we're also giving them off. Can I tell you something? Everyone's unconscious is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue.
Mm. Mm. Oh my God. Oh, somebody in. Okay, I gotta share this. So because someone here was, I think more than one people here were at that misa. We had a misa, right? And in that misa, a gypsy spirit took over my body, and she was she was channeling, right? And she was talking on a lot of things like, confidence and all that stuff. And one of the things she said is people's people's spirit can smell your insecurities. I will never forget that. She said it. She's like, people's spirits can smell your insecurities, because she was talking about glamour. So, yeah.
And in the same way, when we're in the wild, what do they tell you? Animals can smell fear. They can smell fear. Now, before you get to thinking that, well, this is that predatory mind, no. Fear looks like opportunity. Fear smells like opportunity for a predator.
Mm,
Fear smells like dinner for a predator. It's not vicious, it's not violent, it's not personal. But what is given off in the animal because it's being triggered by fear is like the smell of a steak. And even if the animal could not see them at the beginning, it can find that scent trail. You are trailing, your thoughts are trailing behind you. This is not me making stuff up. I want you to look up something, or at least write this down in your notes. It's very, very fascinating. It's called proxemic neurosynchrony. I'm explain what that is, but I want you to take a moment to chew on that. Proxemic neurosynchrony. And what is proxemic? I was really fascinated to find this. As I told you all before, I learned that 97% of all communication was nonverbal. So that just sent me down a rabbit trail. What do you mean nonverbal? Like nonverbal what? So there's this study, there's a whole science called proxemics, 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 like the word proximity. And it talks about how we use distance as a form of communication. Distance. We've all heard the saying, that person, he, she, they, them are standoffish. And that conveys something to us. And this is based upon proxemics. We know that the further someone stands from you, the less connected they seem to be to you. Right? This is where we get the whole idea of intimacy. Something that's closer to us is an intimate moment, an intimate setting. This is all about proxemics. Proxemic neurosynchrony says that they have observed a phenomenon that when you're in the same room with someone or you're close to them, especially with a group of people, and maybe happen even to be doing the same thing, that your brain waves, first of all, entrain, and secondly, they begin to synchronize.
mm,
This deepens empathy. This is where you get into states where you say, oh, wow, you finished my sentences, or I was just about to say that. How did you? This is called neurosynchrony. Literally, the brain waves sync up.
mm.
Now, why is this relevant to glamour, seduction, and personal influence? Because what you are saying about yourself is being picked up unconsciously to other people. It is. What you say to yourself within yourself shows up in your body. I'm going to give you a demonstration before I leave here. But I just want you to hear what I'm saying, not just theoretically, but I want you to match this with your own life experience. All right. Let's take it from another angle. Many of the ways that we show up financially and economically are based upon what we're saying to ourselves within ourselves. How many of you here are business owners?
Me. We have a few.
I can't tell. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I mean,
I know.
Right here, right
Why is
here.
this silence?
okay. I see three.
Ladies is a business owner.
I put my hands up. I put my hands up.
I see it. I see it. Okay. So let's say you have a situation where you have a product, you have a service, and you need to pitch this to somebody. It's going to show up in your delivery. It's going to show up in your glamour. It's going to show up in the cadence of your voice. It's going to show up in how you negotiate. I feel it. I feel a shift when I said that. Okay. So what you're saying to yourself within yourself shows up in how you negotiate. Everything is a negotiation. My father, a businessman, told me when I was young, he said, son, you do not get what you deserve in this life. You get what you negotiate.
Mm,
I'm snapping my fingers.
damn, Dad.
Rachel almost lost her teeth. Did y'all see the scene? I remember this one.
Damn, Dad. Ooh, that clocked that teeth for real.
You do not get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
Mm, we need to
Many of
teach
you
us with
think
that.
many of you think that you deserve what you have because of how you've shown up in negotiations in the past.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to show you how to negotiate.
Come on. Teach us now. Sensei,
Well,
show us your way.
Desires goes out the window with this one.
Hello now.
Because negotiation takes glamour.
It does. It does.
Negotiation takes glamour. Now listen carefully. There are about 101 ways to negotiate. I don't have time to go through all of them, but I will give you a few things that are going to be impactful for you. I opened up recently my second hypnotherapy clinic, and this one
Mm,
is focused on chronic pain. It's one of my niche specialties. And one of the things that you come into at certain levels of business is selling yourself, selling your product, especially if you're selling it at a higher ticket. Okay. So how do you do that? I'm going to give you 3 steps. The first step, or the 3 steps, are the past, the present, and the future. Okay. The first step is the past, right? So what I sit down is I address and assess what is my potential client? What is this already costing them? All right. Let's say we had a non-smoke. Let's say we had a smoking client. They came in for non-smoking. All right. What have you already paid out as a smoker? We're not just talking about packs a day. I mean, that's the place we can start. How many packs are you going through a day? How many packs are you going through a week? How many packs are you going through a month? How many packs are you going through a year? How many years have you been a smoker? Let's pull out our calculator. Let's calculate that. Don't just talk about it in general. Let's look at the actual numbers, the data, the specifics. Okay. Now we know that it's not just packs of cigarettes. What about what have you paid in dental care?
mm,
What have you had to pay out for dry cleaning? What have you had to pay out in healthcare in the past? All right. That's our past. We look at that number, set that to the side. That's past. Second is present, right? What are you currently paying right now? What are the costs of your medications this month? Okay, we've got that. If nothing changes, this is what your projected uh, cost is going to be for this month. Lighters, etc., all of that. Boom. We set that over here. So we got what you have paid, what you are paying. Now, if nothing changes, let's say 10 years, let's say 20 years, what are you going to be paying over the next 20 years? And you know it's only going to get worse,
Mm.
right? We know this about addiction. Addictions always go up, 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 up. Whatever you drink, 10 years ago, you were drinking a lot more of that now than you were 10 years ago. You're going to be smoking a lot more 10 years from now than you are today. It's going to be cumulative. Up, 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 up. Okay. Doctor's visits, healthcare. Then we start getting into the emotional cost, right? Has this cost you a promotion at work because you're always outside in the smoking area, right? Are you going to miss that home run that your son made on the baseball field because you had to step out to have a smoke, right? What is this costing your marriage? Okay. So we've got past over here. We've got present over here. We've got future over here. And so when I say, hey, my cost is 15,000, they're looking at these other numbers. Like it's only 15,000? Yeah, it's only 15,000. Now I'm ready to negotiate.
Mm.
We'll begin by looking at the past, the present, and the future. This comes from having an awareness of self, what you provide and what you offer. Also, as we said before, what is fascinating about you? Lean into that. But you got to know that for yourself. This can't be what other people think about you. It's going to be what you know is fascinating about yourself, what you find interesting about you, what you find intriguing about you. Show up from that place. Now, here's a biblical example. Isaac had two sons. He had a son Esau, he had a son Jacob. Isaac got very, very old. He knew that he was getting too old to do anything worthwhile. It was time to bless his sons, give them their inheritance, and go on into his golden years. Esau was the oldest. And by tradition, he should have got the bigger portion. He should have got the firstborn's inheritance. So Isaac calls Esau and says, my son, I'm getting old. It's time for you to get your portion. He says, go in the field. He was a hunter by trade. Get me my favorite piece of venison. I'm going to eat. We're going to dine tonight. I'm going to bless you and give you your firstborn portion. Well, mom didn't like that idea. She wanted her other son to get it, her other son, Jacob. And she says to Jacob, here's what I want you to do. Your brother's going out into the field to go hunt. I want you to put on sheepskin. Now, your dad is barely blind. I can barely see. You're going to go in and you're going to imitate Esau. Now, I know your father. He knows he can't see well. He's going to ask you to come close. He's going to grab you. He's going to hold on to you. He's going to smell you. So you're going to wear this sheepskin. Well, Jacob does that. He goes in, wears the sheepskin. His father asks him, he says, is this my son? He says, yeah, this is your son. He says, come closer so I can smell you. See if you smell like the field. Comes closer. He says, you smell like my son. He says, come even closer. Let me feel you. He said, okay, you've got rough skin like my firstborn son. So he blesses him and gives him the inheritance. Now, morally, we can talk about the deception that was clearly involved here. But metaphysically, there's a principle. And the principle was that if you want the larger portion, you've got to get into the feeling of it.
Mm.
The universal law is blind like Isaac.
Mm.
It is no respecter of persons. All it's going to say is, come a little closer, let me smell you. And come a little closer, Let me feel you. Do you feel like the firstborn son? And so you've got to get into the feeling of it. Now, we were to go to the New Testament, Christ would put it this way. He would say, ask and it shall be given.
Mm.
He would say, seek and ye shall find. He would say, knock and the door shall be open. For he that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, he that knocketh, to him he receiveth. ASK, right? That's the acronym. ASK, ask, seek, knock. In common parlance today, you hear a lot about the asking the universe for this, asking the universe for that. We'll get into incantations and affirmations and the whole lot. Okay. And you also hear a lot about seeking, visualization, guided meditation, and all of that. Great. But can I tell you that asking is only 25% of the equation? Seeking is only 25% of the equation. And this is why most people, when all they major in and master is the asking and the seeking, their results are still 50-50.
Mm.
There's another component, and that's the knocking. And see, unlike asking and unlike seeking, knocking is the only thing that takes physical contact. You've got to get in the feeling of it and knock around in it a little bit. What are you embodying? What are you knocking around in? What are you in the feeling of? I don't just mean fulfillment, I mean fulfillment, getting on the inside of it. When you look out from your eyes and you gaze upon that mirror, Grisha talks about this in her book, Mirror Work and Mirror Magic. And you look at that mirror and you look at your eyes and you look into your eyes and you look into yourself. What are you feeling? Are you feeling shame? Are you feeling disgust? Are you feeling regret? Are you feeling disappointment? What are you feeling? What are these issues in your tissues?
Mm.
See, mirror gazing is a powerful thing because you try to evoke the ancestors and invoke a spirit. You end up invoking your own spirit. You start seeing from within yourself. Sometimes we won't even look at our own selves in the mirror. We won't look into our own eyes in the mirror. Even the way that you hold a person's eye contact is a glamour. If you want someone to be fascinated with you, you set your gaze upon their right eye. Give y'all time to write that one down. You just set your attention and look at their right eye.
Yeah.
Did she saying, yeah, because her mind going back. See,
No, because I've done it.
Got it.
I've done it. They baptized me. They unforgettable. Okay? Ain't nobody forgetting me.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, thank God
Well,
we have the group chat. And then this is being recorded. I'm going to be sending the recording tomorrow to you guys. So you can come back and take your notes and watch it again, listen to it again and all that. But yeah, I know also about the mimicking because that triggers something with the inner child, especially for men. So you kind of mimic some of their movements when you're talking to them, and that brings them back to mom. Because when they were
I,
toddlers, yeah. So you are literally you hooking them. It's like it's psychological, but yeah.
It's all psychological because it is those nonverbal clues and cues, right? Mimicking someone, even your choice of color, all right? Your choice of
Yeah.
color. And I don't just mean the color that you wear, I'm talking about the color that you embody.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
Okay. So let me give you a few things. I know y'all want the tricky stuff. So
But one of the tricks.
one of the a powerful thing that you can do, get you a pocket mirror, a small pocket mirror. Okay. She said a word there. Get you a pocket mirror and pull out the mirror. Right, get you one that you can pull the mirror out. And in the back of the mirror, you can take this to the back, or you can put it in the plastic, whatever. You want to put forget me not in there, right? They call it embeleza, right? You want to put forget me not in there. You can also put there's a couple of things you can put in there. You can put forget me not. You can put a witch eye seed in there, peonia seed in there. A couple of things you can put in there. You can put a four-leaf clover in there if you have it. Look at a couple of things you can put in there. And so you keep this on your person, and before you go out, you look into this. All right. And you look into your eyes and you fix your gaze into your eyes. All right. Until you stop being conscious of your face. You just have your eyes fixed into your own eyes in the mirror. And what you're going to begin to do is you are going to see, you're going to actively see the qualities that you want others to see show up in this mirror, right? If it is confidence, put that somewhere in your face. Maybe it's behind your ear, maybe it's in your left cheek, whatever, right? If it's power, if it's desire, if it's fascination, if it's interest, whatever the case may be, right? Begin to lodge that in aspects of your face. See it there. See it under your eyebrows. See it under your left ear. See it above your lips. See it in your lips, whatever the case may be. All right. And while you're gazing, without moving your eyes anywhere, suddenly slam shut the pocket mirror. All right. I mean, this is something you have to practice. I'm going, and here's how you know when you start to land and begin to hit this skill. Because the very areas you begin to point out, people begin to speak about. Did you do something different with your hair? Did you do something with did you get your eyebrows done? Did you? I love what you've done with the contour with your cheeks. There's something about you have such good bone structure. Start saying weird stuff that's aligning with what you've been projecting. All right. But you can set your gaze there. So many of us are in such a rush, we forget the power of the gaze, right? That will induce us into a state. Let me tell you something about magical practice. It's the same thing I said to the prophets. All ritual, and for many of you, this is going to be a game changer because you've been wondering why sometimes your stuff hits and sometimes it doesn't. All ritual must begin from within a place of trance, right? You can't just put it together. You can't just say the words. You can't just light the candle. You can't just smoke the cigar. You have to already be in a state of trance. You have to bring yourself into that theta state. When you bring yourself into theta state, you open up a channel from your spirit through your soul and to your body. This state is absolutely critical, right? If you don't have this state, your work is up in the air. It might land, it might not land. This is why many of you, you will do a work and keep worrying about it if you weren't in that state. That's a very key sign that you know. Like, well, how do people just leave it alone? And I'm so, did it work? Did it not work? Did the candle burn right? Did the candle not burn right? You weren't in that state. Because when you're in that state, you know. This is beyond just faith and hope and belief. You know. This is the state that God put Adam in before he pulled the rib out of him. That deep sleep. Not because he was actually asleep, it's because he was in a state to receive. All right. I'm going to give you a practice before I go here. I've got another um, um, engagement, but I want to give you two practices. I'm glad this is being recorded. It's going to strengthen you in this. Now, one last thing I want to say before I give this practice to the business owners in the room. I was in prayer about this tonight, and what came to me not only was raise your prices,
Mm, I got called out on that.
raise your prices, and don't give discounts. Some of you are stuck. You're absolutely stuck. And really, you're not stuck in cash, you're stuck in consciousness. You're stuck. You're stuck because you say, on the one hand, I know I have to raise my prices. I know I'm worth more than what I'm charging or asking for. But on the other hand, you're saying, well, nobody's going to buy it at that price. And so you say, well, I'd rather have low prices and customers, lots of customers, lots of inflow, than raise my prices and have to wait for the right people. And so you're stuck. And you're going to be stuck. And you're going to stay stuck. You've got to go ahead and decide that what I'm offering is for a higher echelon of people. Let me tell you something. You're not going to be missed. The universe will fill the void. I promise you. There is somebody who's going to provide that service at that level that you are providing it at that price. They'll be fine. Your customers, your clients who are used to the 50% off, they will be fine. They will live. They will find somebody else. But there are people who are waiting for you to charge 5 times more who are waiting on you.
Mm,
Because see, before you can negotiate with the world, you got to first negotiate with yourself. You got to sit across from the table with yourself, that business table. You need to pitch it to yourself. You don't believe it. Let's just be frank. Are we here already? We are. Okay. You don't believe it. Let's try to convince everybody else. You don't believe it. And the sign that you don't believe it is your prices. Because I'm talking about nonverbal cues. The price is communicating something. And it's not communicating what you think it's communicating. You think it's communicating, I'm community centric. You think it's communicating, I am being economically empathic. You think it's communicating, I want to be accessible. But that is not what it's communicating. And here's the thing. Well, we're here nickel and diming and a 25% off here, 50% off there. You could just give your full price and the clientele come to pay that full price so that you can just give away what you want to give away. You can afford to do that. That's being community centric. That's being economically empathic. I must hit something because it is, I mean, it is quiet. I hear the Holy Ghost. It's so quiet in here. I'm telling you.
You just how we say in Spanish, nos diste con la chancla. You just grabbed the chancla and smacked us. And you want us to say something?
Mind blowing. Wow.
Well, I will say something, Cosmic. I did that in 2023, and I lost a lot of clients because I raised my prices. However, with about 2 to 3 clients a month, I'm able to cover some things. So I was grateful, although it's silent sometimes, and but it's less drama when you have your prices high. So I would agree with that as well.
And let me tell you this. See, when we're in that other area, there's always going to be this up and down, 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 up and down in your business. They come, then they don't come. They come, then they don't come. When you're in that lower price range.
Not
And
just
here's what,
that, the drama. And
oh, yeah.
I can tell you because I started my readings used to be, for those of you that follow me, for my readings used to be $25 back in the day. The drama, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it for 30. And I started going up, right? Because the energy, those cheap people bring cheap energy into your life and into your business. And they come with problems that you're like, ma'am, you don't need a reading. You need un cambio de vida, is what you need right now with all this stuff. You attract those low vibrational people because those are the ones that can afford those prices. And it was a lot, the amount of time I spent more money cleansing myself afterwards from all the stuff that people was dumping on me. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Now my price is my price on my readings. If you can afford it, great. If you can, I'm sorry. You don't need it
And
that
here's
bad.
the thing. Like I said, the market will fill itself out, right? If you, I tell people all the time, listen, it's okay if you can afford this. I'm going to recommend you to somebody whom I trust, who's at that level.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure my community's taken care of. But whether I'm getting taken care of or not, I'm making sure they're going to eat. Okay. Now, here's the other thing, though. It's just economics. It's just the math. Let me tell you something for all my business owners out there. It's just the math. The math tells me this, that if I have lower paying clients, all right, that's taking up a lot of my time, it's filling up my calendar, which means that I am not putting in effort. I don't have the time or the energy to get more clients.
Mm.
I'm not able to put into my marketing. You're going to have to spend 80% of your time marketing, 20% of your time seeing clients. And it's wild for people. Now, that's if you're any good at what you do. Let me tell you why. So if you're good at what you do, you're gonna have a high turnover rate. Why? Because your clients are gonna be healed and whole and move on. You've got to spend that time organizing and strategizing to bring in those higher end clients. So you cannot have that time backed up being with clients. It's just the math. And the math ain't mathing.
Yeah.
All right. It's all about the mirror trick. That tells you what eye to look in and what color to wear and how to approach a setting, how to negotiate, just ideas about these kinds of things, not just in the bedroom, but also in the boardroom. Look, what you are saying within yourself, your body's responding to. So I want to do a exercise here, and then I've got to run. Before I do this, let me ask any questions while I'm in this prophetic flow, because once I do this, I'm going.
Come on, girls. You got the prophet. Come on, come on. How can we seduce the spirit of money?
Ah, yes and yes.
You're welcome, girls. You're welcome.
So here's the thing. Every time you pray for money, you get an answer. And like any form of seduction, nobody likes being ghosted.
Mm.
Nobody likes being ghosted. So whenever you pray for money, whenever you ask for money, money shows up in the only way it can. It shows up as an idea. And many of us will get the idea and brush it right off. It'll seem weird. It'll seem strange. It might even seem very minute or insignificant. Oh, call so and so. Don't forget about that email. Reschedule that meeting for Thursday. Whatever it is. You think it's just a fleeting thought while we're praying. We think, shoot, thought don't bother me. No, that was your answer from heaven. Some of you still have not even gotten your business license yet. I'm getting to it. I'm getting around to it. And money's getting around to you when she get around to you. She'll spin the block later. So the way that you seduce money is you got to follow the path she's given you. Listen, I walk into a nice restaurant and a nice lady gives me a pass. I'm taking it. You know, I'm thinking about it later. I'm taking it. I'm saying, look, you have great energy. So, so yeah, hey, how you doing? No, is that hard?
Okay.
That's hard at
Somebody
all.
asked, how do you use the forget me not candle for money?
All right, so the forget me not candle was specifically created for romantic situations. So it may be a little bit a miss, but I did give you a working that you can use forget me not in terms of forget me not plant, the embelesso plant, and put it in your mirror, right? Or you can put this behind a picture of yourself. Okay. Now that you can do if you're in a business setting. Maybe you're setting up, maybe you're doing a pop-up shop somewhere, and you have your. Some people they will have their logo in a picture frame on their desk or whatever the case may be. All right, put it behind that.
Mm. Okay. Okay. I just got an
That's
idea too.
see there,
No, but
see.
I'm gonna this you give us whatever trick you're gonna give us because I know you have to go and then I'm gonna continue here with the girls.
You tell them I'm gonna be just a moment. Just bless y'all already.
Mhm.
They're all blessed. Amen. I'm looking for something. And he is saying that, just give me one moment here. I'm messaging him, letting him know I'm still coming. Can I use the techniques to divert some attention away from you? Yes, absolutely you can. How do we protect from unwanted attention when doing glamour magic besides our intention? So clarify within yourself unwanted attention and what that shows up. Sometimes when we're thinking about that, we're thinking about a person, right? But there's a particular energy behind that person. And so you want to move beyond the personality and actually identify what the energy is that you don't want attracted to you, right? Identify that. Once you have a name for it, then you just embody the opposite of that, right? And they will repel.
I personally believe in alchemy. I believe that you can
Mm-hmm.
take the lead and turn it into gold. So I really don't care about if the energy or the attention is good or bad because it all starts from my highest good. But you gotta be in a good mind frame also to be able to switch that energy, right? Also, the power of words, saying no matter what attention I get, be it good or bad, it always works out on my favor. Because what I'm not gonna do is shrink myself and hide. That's exactly what I'm not gonna do because that would be me contradicting what I'm trying to do, which is glamour, fascinating, fascinate other people's to me, my business, etc., etc., etc. So I know I believe in I forgot how it's called when people take bad energy and switch it and turn it into their favor.
Transmutation.
Transmutation, yeah, transmutation magic. Yep, I'm big on that. I don't care how you look at me. If it's good, if it's bad, if you like me, if you don't like me, if you are a hater, I don't give a damn. Because the more you cross your eyes at me, the more you stew your teeth at me, the more money comes into my pocket, baby. Yep, yes it does.
Here's what I want you all to do. Bring your attention to me, and I'm going to show you how to get into this state. I'm going to show you how to speak to your body. I'm going to show you how to put out unconscious conversation, positive unconscious conversation. So you won't, because remember, 97% of all conversation is nonverbal. So very often you're saying one thing out of your mouth and another thing in the 97%. So we're going to reverse that. All I'm going to do, I'm going to give you some instructions. It's going to, first of all, bring you to a point of physical relaxation and mental relaxation. Now, what I'd like you to do, those of you who can, I'm going to ask you to bring your camera on so I can observe that we're doing this properly. Gracia, I see you.
Thanks, brother.
No, Mom, you should
Okay,
be asleep.
that
You
face
should
is
be
looking
asleep with
cute.
the whole
Why
stuff.
were you guys hiding when y'all looking so good? Nah. Mm-mm.
I'm behind schedule, but I'm anointing my earrings with that protection oil you gave me.
Boom,
Yes.
These my evil eye accessories get anointed with your oil, so
Ooh, so pretty. Love the
thank
earrings.
you.
Girl.
boom, boom. Now I'm just going to give you a few prophetic affirmations. I'm going to give you a few suggestions. First of all, in regard to relaxation, this is something that we do not do enough. Can I tell you that rest, black joy, black peace is a revolutionary act of resistance? Just as much as burning down the whole system and picketing and boycotting, it's also rest.
Yes, sir.
So the what I'm going to coach you guys through is something called a progressive muscle relaxation. We're going to begin there. You can master this, you can master anything, and it's super simple. See, what you have to do is act nicely and be a good-looking chocolate man, and the cameras just pop right on. She, she's actually come on live. Nobody comes on live, bro. No, I'm joking. Um, sort of, kind of. I'm really not, honestly, but I'm embodying what I'm telling you all. Okay, I'm living what I'm telling you. Now it's gonna be very very simple. What I'm gonna do, just make yourself comfortable, as comfortable as you can. I hope you have your phone propped up on something else. I don't want you having to hold your phone. And you can just close your eyes because I'm just gonna be talking. Ain't nothing. You already see what you can see. Just make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. And I just want you to scan your body. If you notice any spots of your body where you're carrying the obvious tension of the day, just make a decision to let go of that tension. You want to allow all the muscles in the body to become more relaxed. Notice that your breathing has become even a bit slower already. That's good. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Exhale. These deep, slow breaths. This helps to bring us to a point of trance. Very good. And as you relax, just see the muscles in the top of your head, the muscles in your brow, the muscles along your eyes and your cheeks, the muscles in your lips, and just simply let go of any tension. And as you allow your body to experience a state of physical relaxation, it's okay to let the mind wander. Think of anything that brings you pleasant thoughts. Simply continue relaxing the muscles in your body, along your shoulders, in the arms, in your upper back. Allow the tension to simply begin to disappear. In fact, it's as if you can feel the tension or the stress from the muscles in your upper back and your shoulders and your arms begin to move to your forearms, through the hands, out of the fingertips. You can see all the stress of the day leaving your body. Relax. Pay attention to the muscles in your chest, your stomach, and in your lower back. And if any of these muscles are tense, just simply let go of that tension. Your muscles become limp and loose like a pile of rubber bands. And you experience peace and serenity. And this brings you into an even deeper state of relaxation. Relaxing the mind is also an easy thing to do. As your body becomes relaxed, your mind becomes more relaxed. Sometimes the tension of the day can be stored in the muscles along the hips, the buttocks, and your upper leg. If you notice any tension in these places, let that tension simply flow from the top of your leg, through your calves, through the muscles of the feet and the ankles, and out of your toes. And at this point, you appear very relaxed. And in this state of relaxation, we can experience peace and tranquility. If you need to swallow, that's okay. If you need to adjust for comfort, that's okay. And from your head to your toes, you've allowed yourself to become completely and totally relaxed. And your mind also has the capacity to relax. And these are skills that you will be able to apply to problem solving in a number of different areas in your life. And this feeling of relaxation is exactly what trance is. Perhaps you feel like you could open your eyes if you wanted to, but the relaxation just feels so good. You simply continue to choose to keep them closed. Enjoy this experience for a moment. As you allow your entire body to become loose and limp and feel relaxed, this time will become meaningful for you. It's meaningful because you've acquired a new skill, the skill of taking physical control over your own body and emotions. And in this state of mental and physical relaxation, which you have created, you can choose to allow yourself to simply drift, float, dream, not paying any specific attention to the words I choose. Or you can carefully hear each word. It doesn't really matter. Either way is fine. Either way will produce a sensation that's the opposite of anxiety. And as you relax, pay attention to your left thumb, your left index finger. Be aware of these two fingers resting. As you relax, it's perfectly okay to both relax and pay attention. As I ask you to touch the tip of those two fingers together, do it now. Left thumb, left index finger. Press the tip of the thumb to the tip of the index finger, and for a second, press those fingers tightly together. Perfect. Just like that. Now let your hand and your fingers relax as you continue to let every muscle in your body become loose and limp. And take a moment to enjoy this state of calm and serenity that you've created. And touch those fingers again. At this precise moment of relaxation, go ahead, touch them again and relax, going into an even deeper state of mental and physical calm. Perfect. And what we've accomplished here today is just the first lesson that can help guide you by creating an anchor to this state of calm. And in the future, whenever you want to return instantly to this state of calm, just simply touch your left thumb and your left index finger together for a moment. And you will return to this state of physical and mental relaxation. This is a skill you can take into every situation in life. You can even use it right now in this very moment to go deeper into this state. Go ahead, try it. Touch those two fingers together for a moment. Press them together. And as you relax them, you'll notice that the relaxation doubles. You'll notice changes in the way you feel as you begin to finally experience a sense of hope. Your body becomes even more relaxed. This next lesson bridges that hope that you feel with a visualization. Until now, you visualized yourself reacting to situations with fear or anxiety. But that cycle can be broken by learning how to view yourself as confident, as secure, as safe in any situation that used to bring you discomfort. And as you relax, see yourself from the outside. See you are floating. Imagine you are floating out of yourself and looking down at yourself. It might seem strange to have such an experience, but this is a powerful tool for change. In doing this, you can see yourself from a new vantage point. See yourself as you are now, relaxed, serene, contemplative, focused, and it feels good, doesn't it? By floating outside of yourself to see yourself, you know that the feeling you have created is real. You know this because you can see yourself as calm, serene, confident. Now allow yourself to float back into yourself. And as you do, continue to feel the sensation of serenity you have created. Because you have the ability to approach every situation in life from this state of calm. Even those situations that previously baffled you or confused you, moving outside of yourself is a wonderful way to see any situation from a new perspective. Seeing yourself as you are now, you can easily take this inner confidence, this sense of safety, this sense of security into any new situation. And so as you relax, let yourself continue to enjoy this learning experience using the power of your own mind. Perfect. Allow yourself to go 10 times deeper, letting the mind continue to float, dream, drift. Now I'm going to prophetically speak to your spirit. I'm going to give it some suggestions. These are not suggestions that I think you must hear. Rather, these are suggestions that you've asked me to make based on your desire to decrease stress and anxiety and panic. In fact, as you hear the suggestions that I make to your spirit, you can imagine that they are coming from within you. They are suggestions that you know are true because you are engaged in the process, letting yourself guide into a deeper state of tranquility. In any situation in life, I prophesy, you know that you have the ability to use the creative part of your mind to create your own responses. As easily as you can create a distressing state, you can create a state of calm and relaxation. You're doing it now. You know this because in the time that we've spent together, you have relaxed both your mind and the body. And at any time you need to create a state of physical and mental calm, you will simply touch your left index finger and thumb together and instantly return to this state of serenity. Perfect. I prophesy that situations in the past in which you have experienced distress are now easily handled by your ability to create a growing comfort in your mind and in your body. I prophesy you find that instead of reacting, you are controlling each and every situation, entering a new chapter of life that's filled with hope, feelings of safety and security, and using these skills of inducing this trance, this state, you can easily adjust your comfort level to any situation by turning up the volume of comfort and calm and turning down the voice of fear and anxiety. You recognize that inside of you is a creative, a powerful feeling of success. And you know that in each situation that life brings, it will be easy for you to respond with a sense of serenity and centeredness, recalling this experience, recalling your ability to use your own mind to control your emotions. Take a moment and enjoy this feeling. Now, in a moment, not now, but in a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I do, allow yourself to become energized and aware. And when I do, allow yourself to become aware of the room surrounding you and the surface below you. And when I do, allow yourself to become aware of the experience that you've created. Allow yourself to become aware of how exciting it is to not only learn something new, but to experience something new. And so with the next breath, 3, let oxygen fill your lungs. Let that oxygen travel through the blood vessels to every cell of the body, bringing a sense of energy and awareness. 2, committing to this practice daily. You're feeling energized. Go ahead and stretch any muscles that need to be stretched. And in a moment, when I count to 1, open your eyes, feeling fantastic, feeling ready for the rest of the day. 1, opening the eyes, feeling fantastic, feeling full of life, like you've had a 12-hour nap, feeling great, feeling amazing, feeling rested. Oh, look at you. Y'all done lost about a good 5 years. Y'all thought you needed Botox. Y'all just needed the Prophet. Amen. Praise God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at the smiles. Goodness gracious. Y'all ain't smile like that all week. My. Look at it. Stop. Look at it.
Oh my God, I feel so.
Mm. Don't be mad you don't
Yeah.
have a date tonight. Amen. Praise God. She said, I'm ready to walk out the door now. No, 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 no. Listen, I wanted to give you that. This is not just to have an experience. This is a training. This is a coaching. What you got today does not stop today. You put this in practice every day throughout the day. I did nothing to you. We did all of this together. You created that experience. That space you felt between your mind, that quiet, that peace. You didn't know the voices ever shut up. Yeah, they do. This is your creation. You take this is yours. Nobody did this to you. You did this. And you did this like that. All right. Thank you so much, Gracie, as always. It is a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I feel super confident that next time any of those intrusive thoughts happen to me, like the other day in the car, I can just put my fingers together, get myself back to peaceful state. So that gives me more tools, which I love. I love tools that I can use, in moments because life happens. Uh, Life be lifing. Okay, so I heard something about hypnosis clinic situation that didn't just you don't think you slick.
Okay.
So can you please talk to us because I love I'm an advocate for hypnosis. It does a lot of stuff, and especially to remove blockages. And I feel I'm an advocate that anything that these people make it look to us brown people that is bad, dangerous, and satanic, and that I run straight to that because there is a reason why they're trying to gatekeep from us. So talk to me about hypnosis. What's up? What's up? I heard something.
What's up is that this is just the tip of the iceberg, you know. This is just one small skill that we teach in our hypno coaching. And if this is what you need more of in your life, and from I believe it is, just hit me up for a coaching. Right? Let's get you on the path. This was a great first step, but you've got a path ahead of you. And if you
Mhm.
felt this good with just 30 minutes of me, imagine 6 months.
Yes, yes, yes. I think some of the like you say, some of us are stuck. Like you were prophetizing, right? Some of us are stuck. And I feel like, some of us need to be like honest with ourselves and be like, there is just so much journaling I can do. I need outside help. I need some assistance. There is just so much a bowl and cleansing bath that I can do. I need some outside assistance. So shit. We can do
You
weight
gotta
loss
have that.
hypnosis too, right? We can do
Yes,
weight loss
we do.
hypnosis.
Yes, absolutely. We do weight loss hypnosis. We do pain control hypnosis. Whatever you need. Listen, because what you're having is a disconnect, and it's in the consciousness, right? You can do all the conjure and have the spirits aligned, but they need a bridge, and that's in the consciousness. And I'm speaking from somebody who knows personally, and someone who does work, who gets work done. It's in the consciousness, right? And so when that comes into alignment, everything begins to click in place. It's like that one bolt that's out of alignment,
Mm.
right? Yes and yes.
So pairing. Okay, so do you do group hypnosis? Is
Yes.
this is this something that you can do again for us, but this time like we will of course compensate you for your time so that we can
Yes.
go deeper into removing subconscious blockages when it comes to confidence, when it comes to doubt, self-doubt. I just want the girls to be I want everybody, because I've done subconsciously some exercises, like I put out some topics, right? And some girls are not able to keep up with the topics. The other day we did a mental stimulation. We were talking about going to Monaco, and we're gonna be traveling to Monaco, and we have this brunch and da, da, da. And some girls, just it was a struggle for them to do that imaginative
Mm-hmm.
exercise.
Mm-hmm.
um I want all of us to kind of like bypass that,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to all tap deep, because imagination is God. Neville Goddard said it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagination is God. So we create from here our reality, our experiences, everything. So, if we can just tap into
It's a natural,
that unlimited power.
it's a natural state that we have, right? That's often underutilized, right? We enter that state when we're in the shower.
Mm,
We enter that state when we are on a long drive and, we realize, oh, well, I'm already here. I don't remember stopping. I don't remember slowing down. I don't remember crossing lanes. I don't remember cussing nobody out on my way here. I left home and now I'm at work, right? You were in that state. So this is not a new state as well. Walking does it, reading does it. You can be reading a good book and you can be reading a good book and someone can be calling your name and you won't even hear them. All right. So my second clinic is called Snap Into It. Most people are trying to snap out of it. I'm going to try to snap you into it because it's not about getting you into a trance. It's about snapping out of the one you're already in. Let me give you a
mm.
prime example of this. See, we're always in a trance. We're in our angry trance. We're in our I'm at home eating trance. We're at I'm watching my favorite show trance. We're in our sex orgasm trance. We're in our walking the dog trance. We're in our work. We're always in a trance. So, how many of us have lost our keys and then found out they were never really lost? They were right where we put them. We've done tore up the house looking for them. They have not moved an inch. Why
Yep.
is that? Because we were in a trance. The trance we were in was that the keys were lost. All right. This creates a psychological phenomenon known as a negative hallucination. Negative hallucination means you don't see what is there. Now, my mic still work. I'm just giving y'all time to process what I said. A negative hallucination is when you don't see what's actually there. Let me put it to you this way. Ma'am, how much money have you left on the table? You've been flipping it over looking for money. We're like our keys. Hmm. How many opportunities have we looked over, around, under, through, and looked up the skirt and everything in between? And I've been looking at it the whole time. Right? That's because we are in a trance. Belief creates a trance. If you believe the keys are lost, your eyes will literally look at the key. Hear what I'm
I
telling you.
don't see it.
Your conscious mind will register it because it's optical. Your can still work.
So is
Hey,
is is that the way? Is that how we miss the red flags on people, especially
yes,
partners?
yes, yes. Because you get into a trance, you get into your romance trance. It releases endorphins, oxytocin, serotonin. Boom, you're in a trance. And then when the trance wears off, you start saying, did I not see this for 30 years? Boom. This is what you can tell your friend, drop him, leave him, tell her that
It
for
was
30
always
years, but
there.
one day she wakes up, boom. So what took you so long? That trance had to wear off. She had to
Mm.
snap out of it. Right. So this is all about getting you into a trance that is resourceful and helpful for you. right? This is what top athletes are paying millions of dollars for. They call it the flow state,
Yeah, I read about that.
right? Artists talk about the opposite of this. They call it the writer's block. And they just nothing is happening. That's a type of trance. And they pay millions to get out of that. It's at your disposal. I wish I could go on about this. We'll have a group session about this where I can go into more detail. I really have
Yeah.
to run. I'm behind time, but I want to say thank you all so much. You all are always a blessing to me. And I
Thank you,
thank
Cosmic.
you all
Thank
know we have a
you.
class coming up next Wednesday, the 26th.
Mm.
Get your tickets in. You also know that you can hit me up
Thank
for one-on-one coaching. This is just the first step, but you've got a year ahead of you.
Yeah, this is the new
Yes,
year.
thank you, Grace. I'll hit you up on the back end. Thank you so much. I've got to run.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you.
Take
Thank you,
care.
thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Because, girl, I'm about to go, pow, I'm calm now. Boom. Because ain't nobody taking my peace, not even me, because I'd be self sabotaging like a motherfucker. Okay, let me stop recording. Wait. So we can get into the tea. So I'm going to be sending